Hi guys, welcome back to our city break guide, and next up is Norway's second city, Bergen. So as ever, we're going to walk you through everything you need to know, from what weather to expect when you arrive, how to get into the city, a review on all the core attractions and some ideas on what to do outside of Bergen. So hit that like button if you enjoy what we've done, and don't leave without subscribing so you don't miss any future travel guide uploads. Unless you plan on arriving by train or ferry, most of you arrive by plane, and there are three ways to get from the airport to the city centre: bus, light rail or taxi. Be advised though that if you are going to get the bus, it's best to get your tickets in advance from flybussen.no, otherwise you'll pay an additional 30 NOK if you purchase your tickets directly from the driver. Once in the city centre, it's all pretty compact, and it's unlikely you're going to need to use the tram or bus networks. The networks themselves are used to get to the surrounding areas, and most of what we cover off in this guide can be done on foot. So Bergen might be pretty small, but there's plenty to keep you busy, whether you're travelling on your own, as a couple or as a family. So here's a quick run through of all of the top attractions when you visit Bergen. So let's start with the number one tourist attraction in the city, the funicular ride up Mount Fløyen, where at the top you'll find incredible views over the city. The ride itself only takes about 5 minutes. Once at the top, apart from the views, you'll find some children's play areas, shops, restaurants, and a couple of really nice walks as well that range from around 15 minutes to 2 hours. When you want to get back down again, you can obviously take the funicular, or there are some really nice walks that take about an hour. The funicular city station is just behind Bergen and is very central and easy to get to. One-way tickets cost 45 kroner for an adult or 95 kroner for a return. Children between 4 and 15 are 20 kroner one way, 45 kroner return, and under 4s are free. Every city in the world has something iconic about them that makes them different from other cities. For Bergen, that's Bergen. Meaning the old wharf, it's now part of the World Heritage List, and the area gives you an insight into what life was like hundreds of years ago. Essentially rebuilt back in 1702 after it was decimated by a great fire. It's a really cute little area to explore, lots of little wooden passageways and some really nice restaurants and shops for a bite to eat and maybe a coffee. Whilst in Bergen, if you fancy learning a bit more about the maritime history of the city, then head over to the Hanseatic Museum. Bergen from about 1300 to 1700 was a top trading destination of the Hansa, which were a successful group of German merchants, and one of their strategic bases was in Bergen, ensuring the city became vital in European trade throughout the Hanseatic period. The museum will take you through time and has some great exhibits, but its historic home is currently having a significant refurbishment, so for the next couple of years you'll find it here in the northwest part of Bergen. It's a pretty cheap attraction as children are free and adults are only 120 kroner, which is about £10. We love a hop-on hop-off bus, and we use them in practically every city we go to. The Bergen one runs from around May to September. They depart every 30 minutes and they operate between 9 AM and 4 PM. The tour only lasts for an hour and there are 13 stops in total, passing by practically every attraction we talk about in this guide. Cost is 377 kroner for an adult, 195 kroner for children between 6 and 15, and 5 and under are free. The Bergen fish market has been central to the city's activities since around the 1200s, and it used to be located in Bergen. It was moved to its current location in the 1500s as the local residents were starting to get a little concerned that the German merchants of the Hanseatic League were starting to exert too much influence over their trading activities. You'll now find it at the inner part of the Bergen, and there are plenty of market stalls, shops and restaurants for you to have a wander and perhaps grab some lunch, as most provide beautiful views over the bay. Given its location, not all of the city's attractions are going to be on land. You've got a couple of really good cruise options, one of which, probably most popular, is a cruise from Bergen to Modeland, which is the country's second smallest borough, has a population of around 380. Tours will start by the fish market and head into Modeland before returning back to Bergen. Trips last for around 3 hours and are available all year round, but limited in the colder months to the weekends only. From April to September, you'll pay around 590 kroner for an adult and 350 kroner for a child between 3 to 16, and under 3s are free. From October to March, the costs are a little cheaper at 450 kroner for an adult and 250 kroner for a child. For those of you not wanting to spend the money or have time for a full-on fjord cruise, there's a cute little ferry called the Bergen, which simply helps you cross either side of the Bergen. Crossings only take 10 minutes and operate on most days and cost 30 kroner for an adult and 15 kroner for a child, which is a few pounds, and a novel way of seeing the city, as well as being quite useful if you need to get from one side of the Bergen to the other. And finally, if you still have some time, the Bergen Maritime Museum is a cosy little museum, and it will guide you through the seafaring history of not just the city but the country from Viking to present day. You'll find exhibitions, paintings, archaeological findings and various models of ships that once would have docked here. You'll find it to the south of the city, around a 15-minute walk from the fish market, with under 16s being free and adults only paying 100 kroner, which is about £8. The Flåm Railway is one of Norway's top attractions. Flåm is a cute little town that sits on the shores of a fjord, and the Flåm Railway connects Flåm with a station called Myrdal that sits 20 kilometres to the south of it, and it's that 20-kilometre train ride that's touted by many as being one of the best train rides in the world. To get there from Bergen, there's a regular Bergen to Oslo train service that passes Myrdal, where you can then get a train to Flåm. Train time from Bergen to Myrdal takes about an hour, and then a train ride to Flåm takes another hour. If you want to drive like we did, you can't drive directly to Myrdal. You have to do this the other way around. So you have to drive from Bergen to Flåm, which takes about 2.5 hours, and then get the train from Flåm to Myrdal. It's a top attraction, so invariably it's not cheap. To just get from Flåm to Myrdal and back again, expect to pay 980 kroner for a return adult ticket and 488 kroner for children between 6 and 17. Under 5s are free. Unsurprising that a city surrounded by fjords and water are quite keen on fish, and their very own Bergen fish soup is a local delicacy. We travel as a family and are always on the lookout for some good attractions tailored more towards the little ones, and in Bergen you have some nice options, namely the Bergen Science Centre and the Bergen Aquarium. For the Bergen Science Centre, all exhibitions can be touched, played and experimented with, so the museum is very hands-on and has many different areas to learn and explore from, such as the weather forecast green screen, virtual reality headsets and hydro pumps. You'll find it to the south of the city and is a mere 8-minute drive, or those that want to take the healthy option, it will only take about a 30-minute walk from Bergen. Adults cost 190 kroner, children from 3 to 15 cost 165 kroner, and under 2s are free. Most cities have an aquarium, and Bergen's no exception. It's separated into 3 core areas: the outside, which houses the sea lions and penguins, the aquarium with 500 species, 60 tanks and 1 shark tunnel, and the tropical zone with reptiles, snakes and insects. It's at the very tip of the harbour, and again easy to walk to, and perhaps a good excuse to get the Bergen ferry that we mentioned earlier after you've explored Bergen. Adults are 275 kroner, children between 3 and 15 are 180 kroner, and under 3s are free. So that's what to expect from a trip to Bergen. Hope you found that useful, but before you leave, if you're new to our channel, then feel free to subscribe, as we regularly post content on here to help you with your next getaway. Why not leave us a comment to let us know what you think, and finally, if you're heading off to Bergen anytime soon, have a lovely holiday.